Hey everyone, welcome in. Time to check in and see what the weekend is going to look like for all of us. I'm just trying to get my cedar going here. Smudges off. Hope you guys are all doing well. I am. Boy, it rained hard last night here at my house. Let's see. Okay, there I am. Anyway, today, you know how I get those smells of rain? It's just really this fresh feeling this morning from such a good rain we got last night. Didn't last too long, but long enough. All right, anyway, I hope you guys are all well. Let's look at the weekend, right? Let's take a look at the weekend. What's the weekend look like for us? I'm just kind of looking at my decks, trying to figure out what deck do I want to use. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We could do that. What is jumping out at me today? Let's use this one. I don't use this one very often. I used to, but I wanted to come out, so let's use this one. This is a deck by Sarah Marchetti. I think, nope, it's not the Grand Lux. I don't know which one, but it's by Sarah Marchetti. Anyway, let's see what's going on for the weekend for all of us. And, you know, as always, I'm always happy to pull cards for you guys. So listen, when I pull cards, all right, I love to do that. You know, but if I don't get to your reading, if I don't get to your question, or I didn't see your question, I didn't see your question, all right? You know, don't get demanding, all right? Because that just ticks me off. And I'm going to hit the X button and we're going to leave, and that's the end of that. All right. So, listen, I try to do my best, you know, to get everybody's questions. Sometimes you got to remind me. You know how that all works. You know, when the chat is really spinning, there's a lot of people in there, you know. Yeah, I can't read them all. I'm busy trying to talk to you guys. All right. Anyway, but I will pull cards for you guys. All right. With that being said, let's turn our attention to the weekend and see what's going on for all of my Aries. Grateful, thankful for the messages for my Aries. Welcome in, everyone. Let's see what's going on for the weekend. We're looking at like the next 72 hours. Hi, Colette. Welcome in. I'm just getting started. I was just saying that, you know, I'm going to pull cards at the end of the reading. And sometimes when it gets really busy, I don't see all of the questions, you know. So if you really need a question answered, get my attention, you know, in a nice way, all right? And if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. All right, if not, you know, I'd rather I leave. That's what happened last night. So, yeah, let's just kind of keep that in mind, that I'm happy to pull cards for all you guys when the reading is over. You know, let's just be nice about it, all right? Take what works, leave what doesn't. Let's see what's going on for all of my Aries for the next 72 hours. We have the Empress card coming out, to the Chariot card, to the Page of Cups. There could be conversations around children. You know, if you are not with children, maybe, you know, there's a conversation about, do we want to have kids? There could be some kind of conversation around somebody wanting to talk. We have the Empress coming up. When we have the Empress energy, it's around mothers, you know, so maybe, you know, whenever I see this card, call your mom, all right? Say hi, mom, what you doing? I love you, mom, you know, just send out a little hello. But this is about motherhood, you know, and she is pregnant and she is holding a child. You know, so I wonder whether she has a child, and, you know, we're talking about whether or not we want to have another child. I don't know. That's not going to resonate for everyone, because not all of you Aries out there are pregnant. But when it comes to the Empress, you know, there is this attention that needs to be given to a mother, a mom, or that kind of energy. And if it's you, you know, I mean, maybe there's something that, you know, you created, because it is all about creation, that, you know, you want to really kind of build and nurture. Now, I do see a trip coming up, so maybe this weekend you are going to go away. I mean, this is like a road trip when I see the Chariot. So maybe you're going to round up the kids and go. But if you do round up the kids and go, Aries, I have to tell you, there could be one, we have this Page of Cups coming in reversed, that could be emotionally challenging to you guys this weekend. So just know that. So this is definitely for an Aries who is around motherhood, moms, and things of that nature. So that's what I see for the weekend for you. Bottom of the deck, we do have the Three of Cups. If you are not a mom, I do feel like socializing would be great on the agenda. Go out with your friends, people you love to go out with. That's what the energy of the Three of Cups always brings to me. You know, it's just like, just have fun with your friends. All right, you know, and enjoy the weekend, because I feel like it could be a good one for you. All right, Aries? That's what I got for you. Hi, Charu. welcome in. It's Scarlett. Scarlett's in the house. Welcome in, Scarlett. Hey, don't forget to hit that like button. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, Taurus, what does your weekend look like? I hope you guys are all well. Ashmit, welcome in. Hi, 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 hi. I'm good. How are you? All right, let's see what's going on for all of my Taurus for the weekend. What does the weekend look like for Taurus? New Zealand. Oh, that's nice. All right, look, we got the 6 of coins. Oh, no, that's the 5 of coins. All right, listen, you know, I was reading it as the 6. I feel as if, you know, something's going to change when it comes to money, you know, because I feel like if you need a little helping hand, you know, reach for it. All right, I think somebody would lend you some money if you need a little bit of money. All right, Taurus, but here with the 5 of coins, there's also this energy where you've been feeling a little alone. And I just did a reading for Taurus where, you know, being alone was kind of there. But, you know, all of that's about to change because we have 2 5s here. All right, 5 5. You know, so, and then we have another 5 here with the Hierophant. All right, so I think a big change is due for you this weekend. All right, with the 5 of Swords, I mean, this is you. I feel like you're pointing out the direction that you want, what you want. I mean, you're very clear. So a big change is about to happen for you this weekend. We do have the Hierophant coming in. Maybe some of you find someone or meet someone. But definitely when we have 555, you know, just be aware that what you thought was as it always was going to be, I feel is going to be different this weekend. Big shift of energy. Hierophant, I feel like you align yourself in some way. You know, whether this is spiritually or whatever, I feel like something comes to you that totally changes you in some way this weekend. So that's a crazy little message for a Taurus. Ashmit. Oh, I'm glad, Ashmit. Sometimes, you know, we just got to do what feels good. Listen, I was asked for a job. I was, you know, if I wanted a job. And when I went and they told me about the job, I mean, it was just like such a block of my life. I couldn't do it. I was just like, that would drive me crazy, you know? Anyway, I turned it down because I knew I wouldn't be happy. You know, at the end of the day, it's about what's going to be happy, right? You got to love the life you live, right? All right, let's see what's going on for my Geminis for this weekend. Taurus is going to have some kind of existential, I can't even say that word, thing happen to them. Let's see what's going to happen to our Geminis for this weekend. I mean, this big new moon, you know, this is, I want to say January. It's July 17th. But, you know, it's a new moon in Capricorn. All right, let's see what's going on for you. Gemini, we have the Lovers reversed. We have the 3 of Cups reversed. We have the Swords, 4 of Swords reversed. Oh, my gosh. Listen, Gemini, if you can hang by yourself this weekend, I would do it. Because I just feel like you're not going to connect with your person. All right, here we have the Lovers coming in reverse. So I feel like there could be like, you know, some tension there. We have the 3 of Cups coming in reverse. Also, more unhappiness and, you know, not being very, very happy. Very unsettled. I feel like, you know, this is going to be a very unsettled weekend with your person. And, you know, even if you try to go out, Gemini, I feel as if you're not going to recover from it. You know, because this is not having a good time. The 3 of Cups coming in reverse. And the 4 of Swords also reverse. I mean, Gemini, whatever it is that's going on between you and your person, I just feel like this weekend it may come to a head. You know, because if it doesn't come to a head, I just really feel like, you know, the 2 of you are just, it's not going to be positive. This is why. If you can salvage your weekend, Gemini, by being out and about by yourself, you know, it's like if you can't get along, better to like not be in the same space, right? So that when you approach each other, we're in a good headspace and we can get along, right? That's what I feel for a Gemini out there. All right, bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor, you know, and the Emperor's coming in reverse. See, people just aren't happy. We've lost control. All right, Gemini, it's just one of these weekends. Salvage it on your own, all right? Because I just feel like you and your person, you guys are going to go head to head on some issue or something that's going on. That was hard. Let's hit the bell. Charu, You got a question you want to know. All right, listen, Charo, when I finish, remind me, all right, that I wanted to start with you, okay? And we'll find out how the year will turn out for you. Right now, we're just looking at the weekend for my Cancers. What does the weekend look like for Cancer? Grateful, thankful for the messages for all my Cancers. Welcome in, you guys. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. I'm just doing a reading for the weekend, and after the reading for the weekend, I'm going to do readings for you guys. All right. Let's see, Cancer, what's going on? Crystal Maxwell is a Cancer. Let's see if this resonates for you. All right, listen, we have the Chariot starting out the weekend. Ooh, and the Wands. I like that. We got the Chariot and the Eight of Wands. I feel like, you know, if you are thinking about going someplace this weekend, I think things are happening. I think it would start something. So if you're thinking about going on a road trip, whenever I see the Chariot, I feel like it's a land-based kind of journey. You know, but it usually can indicate, you know, we're going to go somewhere. And the Eight of Wands, a lot of communication, busy, 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 is what I'm feeling. Be careful of an energy of a Knight of Swords, though, because I feel like, you know, in the midst of doing all of this stuff and this energy, because I feel like there's a lot of excitement, motion, just a lot to do this weekend. There could be somebody, this Knight of Swords, who could be a little, they're like the one on the sideline just kind of grumbling. You know, it's like you guys all go out and y'all grab a hamburger and you come back and it's like, this is the best hamburger I ever ate. And this guy over here is like, it's not the best hamburger you ever ate. There's other burgers better. You know, this is the contrary person. I do feel like there could be one of those in the weekend. But I do feel like some of you guys will be, you know, taking a little short little trip somewhere. And maybe you be the one that is organizing it with that Eight of Wands. Because usually, you know, the Eight of Wands is like shooting our arrows to you know, do something. And you may be the one that's initiating it because I see you wanting to go somewhere. So let's see what's going on for my my Leos. Welcome in. Hi, Jenny. Nice to see you. All right, Colette. Come back later if you can. Come back another time. I'll be back. Anyway, I always come back. Thanks for coming in, Colette. Really appreciate you. Hey, listen, 14 people in the chat. Hit the like button. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We're looking at the weekend for Leos right now. Leo. All right, let's see. Leo, we got the Judgment card coming in. I like that because, you know, this is a very angelic card. So in some realm of your life that you really need, you know, some kind of divine thing to happen, intervention, I feel like, you know, you need that because right now we've got you in the Sun card reverse. This is not you. All right, there's something that needs to be shifted or changed. When we have the Judgment card, you know, we want to be reborn. We want to reach a point where I see everything that I've done. I get it. But now I want to turn it around. And I feel like you have the strength right now to like rebirth yourself. You know, we have the Strength card, another Leo card, two Leos card here. This one is reversed, all right? We need to turn this one around. You have the strength. All right, to turn a situation around, to turn yourself around this weekend. I think, you know, you're going to find that, you know, good things are going to come as a result of it. But, you know, sometimes, you know, we need to wake up and say, not today. Today is going to be different than it was yesterday and the day before and the day before that. Today, I'm going to do things differently. Today, I'm going to have a new attitude. I'm going to have a new way of, you know, stepping out there. I'm going to really pick myself up. I feel like, you know, this primal part of you kind of erupts this weekend, Leo. And it's just what you need because I think on the outside, you know, you've been letting people know that everything's all right. But when the Sun card comes in reverse, Leo, you're not that happy. Something has been, you know, something's off, you know, and you want things to be happy and you know what it is and you have the strength to make that change, that shift, whatever it is, so that you can be happy on both the outside and the inside. So this weekend, yeah, it's all about you. I like it, Leo. I like it. Bye, Schmidt. Thanks for coming by. Oh, wait. Maybe it was Jenny who left. Somebody left. Hey, Schmidt, are you still there? Leo, it's your mother's sign. All right, did you just see that, Schmidt? I just read for Leo for your mom. I don't know if it was for your mom, but it could be. Oh, good. Jenny's still here. I always feel good when Jenny's in the house. All right, let's see what's going on for my Virgos for this weekend. We have the Eight of Cups reversed. We have the Nine of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. You know, so listen, I feel like somebody wants to come back. All right, and I don't know whether or not you're really open, but I feel like there is somebody returning who walked away. All right, Eight of Cups, somebody walked away. And I feel like they've come back, or they want to come back. And here, you know, with this, you know, Nine of Wands, I mean, you don't even want to see them. You know, it's like you've already been through this. They left. It's over. So don't be surprised if somebody shows up like that, because I feel like you're going to have a conversation. We have this sort of truth coming out here. The Ace of Swords. You know, so yeah, I think they want to try to see whether or not, test the groundwaters, whether or not Virgo is going to open up. So yeah, this weekend, somebody from your past, I feel like, could show up. And then we have the King of Wands here at the base of what's going at the bottom. Oh, joy. Now listen, the King of Wands, this guy, when he shows up reversed, you know, yeah, he left. You know why he left? Because he's a player. You know why he's back? Because he's a player. All right. So, listen, Virgo, you know, just know who you're dealing with. This King of Wands, they talk a lot. You've been through it already, all right? We're at the Nine of Wands. You've tried to make it work with this person. Tell them how you really feel, right? Let them know. Let them know how you really feel about them, all right? But, you know, Mercury is going retrograde. I don't know when that happens. I think soon. What does it mean when your nose itches? Anyway, my nose itches. Is there something to a nose itching? You know, like if you have scratchy palms, money's coming. Anyway, all of a sudden I got this really itchy nose, just on the one side. Not sure what that's about. All right, let's see what's going on for my Libras for this weekend. We quit talking about my nose, huh? Hi, Lena. Welcome in. Hi, Carolina. All right, welcome in, all you guys. It's nice to see you. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. I'm reading for the weekend. We are on Libras, so what does the weekend look like for all of my Libras? What can you tell me to tell Libra for this weekend? We have the Nine of Swords coming in reverse, so we have the Moon card. And then we have the King of Coins, the King of Pentacles. All right, so let's break it down. So the weekend, we have this Nine of Swords energy, and it's reversed. Listen, there is a situation that has been really stressing you out with this Moon card that you've been hiding, that you've been holding down really, really deep. You know, so when this energy comes up together, I feel like you know that you need to make a shift, a change, or an ending with this situation. You know, because the card that follows the Nine of Swords is the Ten of Swords, an ending, right? In order for this to like finally go away, this has to come to an end. And you're dealing with someone here, Libra, King of Coins. You know, they're a little shady. You don't trust them. And I think you know that. I mean, there's something about it, you know, and maybe you get like this intuitive hit, or you have a dream, you know, because this is very psychic energy. When we're in that moon energy, it's just, ooh, you know, we're in the spirit world. And I'm just feeling like, you know, there could be, you know, an answer, how you handle this King of Pentacles moving forward that would end this stress and anxiety that you have. Isn't that funny? The last image, it looks like I poked you in the face. Sorry about that. Anyway, when the phone rings, you know, it interrupts everything. Anyway, back to the reading. How is everyone? Thanks for sticking around. I'm almost done. I'm on Scorpio. We're going to do Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, 5 more. And then I'll open it up for readings for all you guys. Yeah, I'm back. I'm in and out. I blipped in and out. It was just a hiccup in time. That was the Matrix interfering with my life. All right, let's see what's going on with my Scorpios for this weekend. What does the weekend look like for Scorpio? Grateful, thankful for the messages for my Scorpios. So Scorpio, we got you coming out as the Queen of Coins. You know, some of you might want to just stay home. Right? The Queen of Coins is, you know, she's the Queen of Pentacles. She doesn't want to go out. She doesn't do, so maybe this weekend you would just want to chill. You know, maybe you just need to stay home. all right, because we got the strength card, you know, or stay in those, you know, do those things that, you know, really feed you. It's like I was telling a friend of mine yesterday, I had very little in my battery yesterday, you know? And I'm feeling like Scorpio, this is one of those things. You got to do what you got to do to kind of, you know, replenish yourself. And I think you're going to do that this weekend. And for some of you Scorpios, I feel like there's going to be a turn of good luck for you, especially if it comes to work. All right. So if you're putting yourself out there in any regard, you know, maybe you know, presenting, or I just feel like when it comes to your work, that you could really get maybe even a raise or more money. The Wheel of Fortune is definitely turning in your favor, and you are really showing a lot of strength this weekend. So, yeah, just keep doing you, Scorpio, because I feel like, you know, like this wheel says, everything is turning in your favor. And it's a new moon. So it's a good time to start new things. It's a good time to keep going. You know, so I like it. And we have all this moon cycle energy. So tap into this new feeling that you have, because whatever it is, and, you know, the sign of Capricorn, you know, loves to work. And I think that, you know, where you have a lot of strength in the work that you do. So, and I think there's going to be a lot of good luck with it this weekend. And, you know, probably from here on out, you know, not just this weekend. All right, let's see. Next up is my Sagittarians. I'm glad you guys are still sticking around. Makes me feel good. Maythal, welcome in. Nice to see you. All right, let's see what's going on for all of my Sagittarians for this week. I'm almost done, you guys. I feel like I'm on a racetrack. But listen, I'll take my time with these. All right. Sagittarius, let's see what's going on for you for this weekend. What do the cards have to say for all of my Saggies for this weekend? All right, Sagittarius, we have the Ten of Cups coming in reverse to the Five of Cups. Uh-oh. To the Hermit. Oh, my goodness. Listen, when we have the Ten of Cups coming in like this and it's reversed, I just feel as if that with the Five of Cups, maybe there's just something that happens in the family. All right, this is what I'm feeling. It could be your partner. It could be around your relationship. It could be just a family member. Because the Ten of Cups is about, you know, love and family and, you know, all of it. But I just feel as if this Five of Cups, there's just something, maybe, you know, you're not feeling the connection. Something's gone wrong. There's something happens in the family. But here with this Five of Cups and then the Hermit, I think the best thing you could do is to go take some time and just be by yourself and just kind of process whatever happened in this Ten of Cups energy. You know, because I don't think you're in a good place to talk about it, discuss it, deal with it. I think you need to just sit with whatever this is that happens. And, you know, this starts the weekend. So maybe you receive some news, you know, maybe there's just something that I think really upsets you. And I'm also picking up, you know, if you drink, all right, this is not a weekend that maybe you should be out drinking, you know, because I feel like maybe, you know, rather than deal with the heartache or whatever it is, you know, you turn to drinking, because here she's, you know, she's drinking so much, she's dropping these glasses. You know, that's not a way to deal with whatever it is that's going on within the family dynamic right now. So I think you need to look at how you're handling this as well, because this guy's holding up this lantern to this Five of Cups, and it's looking at what is wrong, like what's making you so sad, what's making you feel so depressed and lonely, you know, and see whether or not we can figure out how we can change some of this. All right, so yeah, not an easy weekend for you, Sagittarius. But that's not for all Sagittarians, all right? That's for somebody out there. All right, let's see what's going on for my Capricorns. Grateful, thankful for the messages from my Capricorns. Thank you, Schmidt. Sure appreciate you. All right, Capricorn, let's see what's going on for all of my Capricorns. Collective reading. We can focus in on you, Cappies, more intimately, one-on-one, right? Hi, Michael. Welcome in. All right, let's see what's going on for my Capricorns for this weekend. Now, remember, these are short periods of time, you know, so this feeling that Sagittarius had could just kind of like come and go, you know, but you do need to sit with it. All right, Capricorn, we're starting with you with the Nine of Wands to the Six of Cups coming in reverse to the Five of Swords. You know, I feel like, you know, when we have the Nine of Wands, this is about trying to mend fences and trying to do something, you know, with someone else or in regards to a situation. You know, I mean, you've tried and tried and tried, and in this process, you know, you've gotten beat up, you've gotten all this experience, you learned a lot. And I feel like, you know, some of these things from your past, you know, they can help you now, right? All of these things that in the past kind of built you, all right? So if we're talking about just you, all right, you know, because I'm a Capricorn, all right, and I know I've gone through some really crazy stuff, you know, trying to make things work, trying to get things to happen. And I do know that, you know, I do have these hang-ups from my past. But I feel like now a lot of these things from my past are actually helping me in my present. And I have this Five of Swords here. And this Five of Swords energy, I love this deck for the Five of Swords because I feel like, you know what you fight for. You know what you want because you've been through enough that, you know when to, you know, actually go after something, when to pull back. And I think this weekend, you know, you're going to run into one of these situations where, you know, if somebody wants to come back or a situation comes back from your past, I think now you're going to know how to handle it. And I think you're going to know how to handle it better than you ever have before. So, yeah. And yet, look, we have this victory card, whatever this situation is. So, you get it? Schmidt gets it. So, anyway, that's what I got for you. Let's move on to my Aquarians. Aquarius, let's see what's going on for you for this weekend. Grateful, thankful for each and every one of you guys. All right, let's see what's going on for all of my Aquarians for the next 3 days. What's going on for Aquarius? All right, Aquarius, let's see what's happening. One more shuffle for you. Let's see what's going on. All right. Aquarius, this weekend, we got a King of Cups coming in reversed, and we have an Emperor reversed. Uh-oh, difficult energy. Why am I getting so much drinking? Right? Because look, here, we got the King of Cups coming in reverse. The King, this King can drink a lot. We have this Nine of Cups. Look where this guy is. You know, he's having a drink. Look what's going on here. We got the Emperor coming in reversed. Wow. Okay, so, listen. This guy's going to do what he's going to do, whether you like it. This could be your dad. The Emperor could be a father figure, somebody in charge. But, you know, when we see the King of Cups showing up, I'm always like, uh-oh, trouble's here. Because this guy is emotionally unstable. And a lot of times when the King of Cups shows up, you know, they mask themselves in drink and drugs and gambling and all these things that, you know, anything but deal with their emotions. And I wonder whether or not something triggers this person, whether you trigger this person or you know who this person is, because this Emperor, I mean, is not happy at all because it's like they've lost control. Maybe you see that they've lost total control this weekend. You know, in the Nine of Cups, it's a wish card. But here, you know, this person, they're drinking. So, again, maybe there's a wish that, you know, this person really gets control. Maybe again, something happens, you know. There could be, you know, an upset. What's at the bottom of the deck? The World card. Yeah, it's not over yet. They haven't left yet. But I feel like, you know, they're getting closer and closer to where this situation that they're dealing with and the person you are dealing with who is drinking, partying, who's emotionally just... And it could be your dad. I mean, this could be your father that's just, like, out of control. Or it could be a person, you know, that you know. An older person is what I'm getting. But here with this World card coming in reverse, and then I have the Eight of Cups. We're close to dealing with this. But it's not over yet, all right? So you're going to have to deal with this person. So just prepare yourself. I know it's nothing new, right, Aquarius? To have someone like that just kind of... I mean, if it's your father, you've been dealing with them for a long time. If it's your partner, you've also been dealing with them for a while. So just prepare yourself, all right? For whatever Aquarius out there needed to know that. Oh, look, Colette's back. Oh, Colette, if you have a question, I'm on Pisces, all right? So I'll do Pisces, and if you got a minute, I'll pull a card for you first. And then I was going to go back to someone who is way at the beginning. And if they're still around, I'll do them. And then we'll kind of pluck around for you other guys, all right? All right, Pisces, let's see what the weekend looks like. These are really specific messages. You know, this is the thing that happens when you use different decks. I've got a lot of decks, and this deck is very different than one. And it's got, the messages are a little different, right? They seem to be more, very, very pointed toward one person rather than a collective. All right, let's see what's going on with the Pisces. All right, the weekend, we're starting out with the Four of Swords. Feeling like we need to rest. I don't want to go anywhere. Hermit. Again, I think you don't want to go somewhere. I think, so you don't want to go somewhere. You have to go somewhere. You'd rather rest. Here's the Hermit card. You'd rather be home. You'd rather be on, you know, the Hermit wants to be by themselves. You can't. You're really hung up about it. Here we have the Hanged Man. So, you know, I feel like Pisces this weekend, you know, you need to not do so much, all right? Because this is a card of feeling like a martyr, or being sacrificing my time for doing what I have to do, and okay, I'll do it kind of energy. I mean, if you don't want to go, don't go, all right? Really. I mean, the Hanged Man wants you to gain some perspective. You know, are you going just because everybody wants you to go, but you don't really want to go? You don't have to go. If you want to go, go, you know. I mean, but I just feel like this weekend, you know, don't do it because everybody else expects you to go along and if you don't want to go along. Because the Hanged Man says, I don't, you know, yeah, I could go. No, I don't want to go. You know, you know, and the Hermit says, what do you really want to do? Well, I really want to stay home. Well, then stay home. All right. So that's what I got for you, Pisces. All right, Colette, are you out there? Oh, will you get to shopping with your friend? And if so, will our relationship be good? I don't know, you're going shopping. All right, listen, let me clear the energies here first, and we'll pull some cards. And we'll start with Colette. Let's see. I'm going to burn my tiny little, where's my lighter? My tiny little swig of cedar here. It only takes a little. All right, there we go. See? All right, let's pull some cards, starting with Colette. Colette wants to know whether this shopping with their friend is going to be good. Is it good? Will the relationship with her friend this weekend be good? Look, it's 10-10. Thanks, you guys. I got 10 people in, and I got 10 likes. Thanks for likes, commenting, share, subscribing. All right, let's find out, Colette. We're going shopping. Upright for yes, reverse for no. What's going on? You know, you're going to have a really great time. Look, King of Wands. I think, you know, you're going to find that you guys will feed off of each other in a very creative way. And, you know, what better way to spend time with someone than having great imagination and a lot of ideas. So is it going to be good for you, Colette? Absolutely. I think it's going to be really, really great. All right. Schmidt, my loyal subscriber here. You'd like to ask a question. Your father would like to ask something. All right. He invested his money in land. And court case is ongoing. Will he get the land or the money back? Or both? Immediately I got both. But let's see what the cards have to say. Is he going to get the land? Yeah, I see you getting the land. Is he going to get the... Yeah, I think you're going to get both. The land and the money. Relax. I think it's going to be a really good outcome, especially with this, you know, because I feel like there will be reason to celebrate because you have money to celebrate and you're on your land. All right. So there. How's that? I like it, Schmidt. I like that. Tell your dad I said hello. All right. Let's see. Lorraine. How's Lorraine? Oh, wait. Let me go back to May. All right. Because I saw her hanging around for a while. And then I'll come back to you. All right, Lorraine? May, you want to ask this question? What are Hassan's true feelings for you right now? Grateful, thankful for the messages from May Thaw. Oop, card came out. Look at this. You know, all right, I put it back in. I shuffled it. It fell out. This is a card of, possibly the two of you. I mean, good thoughts, happy thoughts, future thoughts. Maybe it's time for you guys to take it to the next level. Because this could indicate, that this could really go a long way between the two of you. I like it. I like it. All right, let's see. Lorraine, good morning. How are you? Stay positive. Stay positive. You're going to hear good news. Will you succeed in your new career? Lorraine, let's find out. Grateful, thankful for my friend Lorraine over here. Staying positive. Staying positive. Listen, that's all we can do. All right, Lorraine, let's find out. Will you succeed in your new career? Listen, look at that. Look, absolutely. King of Pentacles. All right. This kind of, it grants you success and money. I mean, King of Pentacles is even beyond the Queen of Pentacles, right? I just feel like, yes, you will have a lot of success. You'll make a lot of money at it. You'll be very secure and you'll be very good at it. So I like that. I like that. Casey, how are you? Swati, how are you? Universal guidance for my friend Swati for the love life. All right, universal guidance for love life for Swati. What can you tell me to tell Swati regarding love life? You too, May. Have a beautiful day. Beauty's all around you. All right, let's see, Swati. Universal guidance for you. All right, listen, you guys, something's got to come to an end. All right, look at this. These are some heavy cards. We see this Nine of Wands, all right? You are looking at this situation that has been really difficult and really, really painful. And, look at you. You got all beat up over this whole thing, trying to make things work, but at the end of the day, it's time for it to end. And I think you realize it. So when it comes to your love life, I mean, you've done a lot, but I feel like you've gone through a lot. And here with this Five of Swords coming out again is kind of saying when it comes to you got to choose your battles. And at some point you have to realize when it's time to let go. And just you're not going to win this. So it's over, is what I feel. And I see communication being cut, things just coming to an end. It's time, Swati. Anyway, that's what I got for you. Casey. Deshawn fully committed to you. Let's find out, Casey. Grateful, thankful for my friend Casey. We don't have too many people in the house. Anybody else out there want a question? Put them in now. Since it's so small, I could probably get to all of you guys. All right, Casey would like a message around whether or not Deshawn is fully committed to Casey. Yes or no? You know what? I do see that he is committed to you, but something happens. All right? I get a yes, but a no. All right? We have the Tower. Something unexpected is about to hit, if it hasn't already. And it's going to throw everything off. Yeah, he's not truly committed to you. I don't think he can be. Honestly, I think he wants to be, but he can't be. King of Swords, I also feel like you can't believe everything he tells you. All right, he's coming in reverse. And this is somebody who's kind of smart at kind of, manipulating things to work out. Honestly, I just feel like this person here, you would be better off, going on your own here with this Fool card. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I just feel like things are just going to turn and get worse and worse. And then we have the Queen of Swords. You'd be the counterpart. It's going to get hard. All right. So whatever this Tower is that hits, that's the beginning of the end. And I think, you're better off. And I think you know it when you finally go off on your own. So that's what I've got for you, Casey. Holy cow. That was a lot. All right. Divine guidance for Shivani. Shivani. My friend Shivani would love some divine guidance. What divine guidance can you give to Shivani? Divine guidance for Shivani. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Your card is the Ten of Swords. Boy, endings. Boy, there's this need to bring something to an end. It's been hard. It's been painful, but it's time for it to bring it to an end. And when we see this card, you know, we have to focus on this light. Because as soon as this ends, that big heavy cloud lifts. It may require you needing to open up. Whatever it takes, I feel, for this ending to happen, you should do it. All right, because it's going to help you in the long run. It's going to help you along. You know, this will finally be gone, whatever this painful ending is. It hasn't been fair. And, you know, it might cost you a little to bring this to an end. You know, but I think it's what you need, because if not, you know, you continue with all of this anxiety. So it's time to, like, bring this to a halt. Take one of those swords and just totally cut all of that out. Whatever that is. All right, that was pretty big, Shivani. Elizabeth Bradley, you have a question about your ex. You don't know if you can trust him. And should you just cut him off? I don't know. We have us. Is that the English Hunter? Welcome in. Mandeep, welcome. English Hunter. All you got to do is put it in the chat. I'll do you next, all right? I'm going to first read for Elizabeth, and then I'll read for you, all right, English? All right, grateful, thankful for the messages for Elizabeth Bradley. She'd like to know about her ex. Doesn't know if she can trust him. What can you tell me about Elizabeth's ex? All right, so here's your ex, all right? The end. Very, very closed up. Can you trust him? No, you can't trust him. You know, remember why he's your ex, right? But I feel like, no, you cannot trust him. I just don't think that. And should you cut him off? I mean, this is the big question here. You know, I think, you know, there's a part of you that wants to cut him off and another part of you that doesn't want to cut him off. But should you cut him off? Because here you are, sitting here. You're so close. I don't see you doing it, all right? Should you cut him off? I think you should. Will you do it? I don't think you will. You know, I think, you know, this will just continue to kind of live in your head. I mean, that's, you know, you got to stop and think, all right? If you don't cut him off, all right, you're not living your life, all right? You're still living in this life that around him, and he's gone, you know? And if you hang on to him, you're not happy, you know? So it's up to you, but I don't see you cutting him off, but I do feel like you should. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Elizabeth. English. Will you be financially abundant soon? Gosh, we all want that, huh? I have to tell you, overall, as a collective energy when it comes to finances, a lot of us are trying to set ourselves up for the future. You know, I think this year brought a lot of an awareness that we need to get ourselves together, you know, because there's a lot of instability out there. So I think a lot of us are working towards that. All right, let's see what's going on. English for financial abundance. Will it happen soon? Yes or no? Oh, I see like it will. You may not be happy, though. You know, I think with the pace of everything. Ooh, your finances are going to reach. You have to leave something, all right? So you do have the potential, all right? The potential. All right, Irish? But I feel like right now, okay, you're doing something that, you know, you think is going to bring you money. All right, here we have this Nine of Pentacles here in Independence with the Sun card. I don't think you like to be dependent on other people either, you know. But on the outside, I think you're acting like everything is really good financially, and it really isn't. You know, there's some instability, and, you know, we need to see this come to an end, all right? It needs to either change or it needs to come to an end. So here again, we have this need for something to come to an end with your finances. All right, we've got this Ten of Swords. So I feel like there's a situation that you're hanging on to, and it could be what you think is your direction you should be taking with your money, but you got to walk away from something that I think you don't need to be spending your money on either. So, because that's not making you happy. So, when will you finally see these finances shift and change? After you walk away. After you walk away. I mean, Page of Cups is saying you got to grow up, and, how you handle your money and how you spend your money and how you make your money. All of that, I think, is coming towards you with a flashlight. And right now, we got the new moon in Capricorn. I do see, look, you reach a point where you finally have reached that money that you want, and you've reached stability and we can celebrate. But I feel like, there's a journey that you have to take in order to get there. And with the Page of Cups and the Eight of Cups, definitely telling me there's something that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing. And once you stop doing that, I think things will start to turn around for you. All right, Irish? Or English? Irish. I'm sorry. English. All right, that's what I've got for you. English. Thanks, May. Thanks, Lorraine. We got Phoenix in the house. Are you seeing any form and happiness coming in for you soon? Let's find out, Phoenix. Wishing you so much happiness. Let's find out. What kind of happiness do you see coming towards Phoenix 1111? Give me the good stuff for Phoenix 1111. Welcome in, you guys. Nice to have you guys in the chat. Legs. You can do a question. All right, Phoenix, let's find out. What good thing, happy thing coming towards my friend Phoenix. Ooh, interesting, Phoenix. So we've got the Hermit coming in reversed, and we have the Five of Cups coming in reversed also. So I think there is this need for you to accept being alone, okay? Sitting with yourself and moving on from something that, I think made you very depressed, very disappointed. I feel like you're good on your own right now. And when you sit with yourself right now is where you're going to find, see, he's got that star in his lantern, those things that are going to make you happy. But there's definitely something that in the past has kind of held you back. And I think that's what you've got to let go of. And I see you doing it, all right, Phoenix? Because here, the Five of Cups is reversed. When the Five is reversed, I'm happy because it says you're no longer focusing on all of this crap that has hurt you in the past, disappointed you, left you feeling alone, like life just sucks. I just feel like, you are really ready to really look at what it's going to take to make you happy. And the next card we see you looking towards your future. All right, so here, being really, really positive. And what it is, you set something already in motion because we're at the Three of Wands. So there was something you really wanted to do, and you aligned with someone. Maybe that didn't work out, but what is working out is what's in front of you. And I think you are really ready to, really bring those things, that positive energy, like you said, trying to be positive towards you, and it will bring some results. I feel like it will bring you an opportunity, an offer, maybe the ability to start a new job. I mean, this is the Knight of Pentacles, very solid, very sober energy, but it'll bring a lot of stability. So whatever that is, let it go, my friend, and sit down and you will find exactly what it is that you want in the direction you want to go that'll find your happiness. So that's what I got for you, Phoenix. Lena, welcome in. I see you're back. Legs, what's keeping the Taurus from the relationship with you? Probably because they're a Taurus. All right. Wow, they don't move fast at all, Legs. Let's see what's going on with this Taurus for my friend Legs, wanting to know about this relationship. Let's see what's going on, Legs, with this Taurus. What can you tell me about this Taurus and this relationship? What's keeping him from this relationship? The Emperor, because he's in control. Because he's controlling it, all right? He's coming out as the Emperor reversed, all right? And then we have the Page of Cups. He will tell you when he is ready, he will make the offer. Oh, be careful of that, all right? Because this Taurus here at legs, I got to tell you, this is the kind of energy of somebody who likes to control the relationship, dominate the relationship. If you're good with that, that's great, you know, but he's going to keep you on a short leash, you know, and everything he's going to want his way. But I do see that eventually they will, you know, make some kind of an offer. Just be careful. I don't know whether this is somebody you really want to get involved with. Because I just see trouble. All right, here we are, 6 of Swords. There could be trouble with that one. Just saying, legs. TM, how are you? Welcome in, TM. Did I miss yours? I don't know, Jenny, but we'll catch up with you, all right? Is it third party? I wasn't feeling third party, legs. No, it's not third party. You're just a control freak. All right, TM, let's find out. New love for you coming in soon. Grateful, thankful for the messages from my friend TM. Is there new love coming for TM here soon? Oop, this card spit right out. The devil. I think you're going to get something's coming in, all right, TM, and I think it's going to be filled with a lot of passion and all of that kind of stuff, but it's going to be really toxic, all right? I am feeling a very toxic connection with you and this person. It's so funny. I keep looking at these cards. I'm like, now I got to start either covering up the naked people or I got to start drawing on them. So I got to start drawing on these guys. Can you believe? I mean, let's all grow up a little here. Anyway, you know, I'm just making sure that I don't get banned, you know, from YouTube because of my cards. Anyway, toxic relationship, but it's definitely coming in for you, TM. All right, Lauren. Lauren's, is that Lauren's Christine? I don't know what your name really could. Let's find out about Christine's future work. All right, let's find out about Christine's future work at Mayong Estate. Ew, I don't think it's going to be a good match. I don't think it's a good match, honestly. We have the 2 of, oh gosh, yeah. I don't think it's going to last very long, honestly. Because like I say, I don't feel like it's a good match. Let's look at your energy. All right, Lauren, let me look at your energy here real quick. You're very intuitive, all right? I see as if like, and you know, maybe just even recently you realize that you're even more and more intuitive than, you know, you have in the past. I just feel like, you know, you are thinking something and it's happening. You are seeing something and you knew it was going to happen. Like you have a knowing about you right now. All right, Lauren, so use it. All right, that's a gift. All right, Lena Mimi. Lena Mimi. Will your ex love me? Will my ex love me and will return? Oh my goodness. The exes. Let's find out, Mimi. Find out, will your ex love you and will return? Let's find out if your ex still loves you. Let's find out that. Sometimes we just need to know. You know, I do feel like your ex has feelings for you, you know, and will they return? You know, I do see that there could be that potential. If that's what you really want, you know, we have to remember why they're an ex, you know, and, you know, did they leave? Did they change? You know, just be really careful what you ask for. Because I feel like, you know, you may be waiting for someone, you know, because I think the potential is there, but I just don't feel like it's ever going to manifest. This is you, like when we have the 7 of Pentacles, by putting in the work and seeing it grow. And I just don't see that nothing has changed. You know, so if you do need to see them to see that nothing has changed, maybe that's what it'll take for you to move on. So Lena Mimi, time to move on. All right, let's see. Who's next? Jenny. Jenny, did I read for you? Should I pull a card for you? You still here? Did you get another phone call? What's going on, Jenny? All right. All right, here's a card for you, Jenny. Grateful, thankful for my good friend, Jenny. Shows up. Nice to have her in the chat. All right, Jenny, let's see. We've got the 9 of Swords coming in reverse to the Hermit. All right, you need to take the time to really sit with whatever this stress and anxiety is that you've been feeling. All right, the Hermit says you're avoiding taking the time that you need to process this, because I think you know that whatever this stress and anxiety is, I mean, it's affecting you. You know, it's, you got to deal with it. And I think you know that you're going to need to do this soon. So you're going to have to take the time, Jenny, to do it. You really are. You know, and I think, you know, you like to focus on on your work. You know, it's funny. I feel as if, you know, your work is like your emotional respite. um, but whatever it is that's going on, and you know that it needs to end, you know, I think it's time for you to really face it. So the Hermit here coming in reverse says that, one, you need to take the time to sit with it, all right, and really kind of look at, you know, what makes you happy and what you can do to get to that place again. And two, you know, what can you do to make that happen, all right? You know, because you can think about it till the cows come home, but you're going to have to act on it as well. All right, so that's what I got for you, Jenny. I wish I was happier. All right, let's see. Mandeep. Feeling too much negative and you feel caged in my home and doesn't want to do anything and not able to go out too. Please guide you. Oh my gosh. You have what I would call, Mandeep, cabin fever. You know, like in the wintertime, if you live in a remote area. I mean, I do, so, you know, I know what cabin fever feels like, but it feels just like that. So what can you do? All right, let's find something. What can we do to help guide Mandeep out of this negative state? Feeling caged in, doesn't want to do anything. Listen, depression hates a moving target. My friend Nita Sweeney wrote a book about that. That's the title of her book. You know, even if you are stuck at home, there's things you can do. You know, there's, you know, busy hands. You know, keep your hands busy. Movement. You know, do things. You know, there's, you know, in the house, you know, that closet that you know, avoid, you know, like the plague, because the stuff is oozing out of it. Well, clean it up. You know, things like that. Depression hates a moving target. And you are depressed, my friend. So let's see what cards come out for you. Yeah, you know why? I feel like, you know, you're not being true to you. All right, we have here, you know, the Five of Wands coming up. All right, Mandeep, this is a card of competition. This is you comparing yourself to everybody. And, you know, you have a low image of yourself when it comes up to you against other people. But the truth is that you are so unique and really incredible. You got to find that rhythm, that beat, and not be afraid to be who you are. I mean, you've been hurt in the past. There has been some heartache. I see that. But it's time to heal these wounds, you know, and get yourself out there and just do you. You know, what do you love to do? You know, do you love to skydive? Then skydive. Do you love to hike? Hike. You like to swim? Swim. You know, you love to just sit around, watch TV? That's not healthy. All right? You know, that's sedentary. I'm trying to get you to move, even if it's just your hands. So that's what I see for you. All right, Mandeep? Look, you can be happy. Look, another naked person. So many naked people in my deck. I'm going to have to sit down and just kind of spend an hour and just kind of draw them all through. Amruta, is it worth traveling to a different state on Sunday, or will it be just a waste of time? Amruta wants to know whether or not it's a waste of time to go to a different state. Yes, no? What card can you tell me? You know, I feel as if, you know, it's not going to matter. It's just like, you're going to have the same feeling whether you go or you don't go, is what I'm feeling. All right. So I don't feel like it's a waste of time, but I don't feel like it's going to make a difference. If you go, you know, like I get this meh kind of energy. And the Ace of Cups, I mean, this is just not like, you know, I just don't feel like it's a good thing. It's not good. No. At the end of the day, my answer to you, Amruta, is no. Oh, my goodness. Loretta, welcome in. What do we got going on, Loretta? How work party will go for me next Friday. Oh, you got a work party. Don't drink. Okay, don't drink. That never goes well. At a work party. Just saying. I mean, if you have a glass of wine, it's fine. You know, but you know what I mean. All right, let's find out about this work party for Loretta. How is it going to go for Loretta next Friday? How is this work party going to go for Loretta next Friday? Oh, well, you know, I see that, you know, it's funny. I feel as if, you know, you're going to be like the wallflower, not really wanting to be engaging with what's going on because the Hierophant represents, you know, the company, you know, the work party. And then we have you coming up here as the Queen of Pentacles, not feeling as, you know, confident and secure as you usually do. So I feel you not being very, like, lively in this whole party, you know, really kind of quiet. Yeah, and there could be somebody at the party who may drink a little bit too much. Who may have their eye on you because I have a Knight of Cups coming out. He's reversed. So I just feel like this guy's just after one thing, all right? So if somebody does make a move on you at the work party, just know that they are not serious, all right? Anyway, that's what I've got for you. I just feel like you're going to be more of the quiet one at the party, not one that's going to be loud in the life of the party. All right, let's see. Elizabeth. Oh, wait. Don't be sorry. You want to follow up, Elizabeth? Let's find out. Will you have a better future if you let him go? Let's find out, Elizabeth. Will you have a better future if you let him go? Let him go. All right, let's see. No, I don't feel like that you would, because here with this Page of Wands coming in reversed, you know, this is like delivering a message, you know, of like, you know, I want to go, but I just don't feel like you're going to be happier. No, look, Ten of Cups coming in reversed. I just don't feel like you'd be happier. All right. I think happiness comes from within, you know, but I do feel like, you know, you reach a point that you do want to let it go. But here he comes up upright, you know, I feel like you don't. You know, and as much as you would like to let him go, I just feel like you don't. And, you know, it could be just because it's very difficult because of circumstances. But I know that, you know, you see how toxic and everything it is. But I just don't see you letting it go. Let me pull another card from another deck. All right. Let's get what's the tea. I have this really strange deck here. All right. Let's see. All right, Elizabeth, I want to know what the tea is with this. What comes out with that, Elizabeth? Dirt digging. Yeah, I think, you know, it's one of these things, you know, that didn't really tell me too much, but I feel like, Elizabeth, you know, it's one of these things, you know, as much as you're not happy, I really just don't see you leaving it, even if you wanted to. At least not now. At least not now. Things are changing quickly. All right, let's see. Norma. Welcome in, Norma. You still out there? Hi, Norma. Norma. Norma Martinez. General reading for Norma Martinez. What can you tell me to tell Norma? Don't forget to hit that like button, people. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Norma, there's some celebration. Are you going somewhere? Are you going to a happy event? I feel like wherever you go, if it's this weekend, I feel like, you know, there's this energy of people are happy that you show up. So I like that, Norma. So if you are going to some kind of a party, a wedding, or if you get invited, you know, because here we have this Four of Pentacles coming in reverse. I mean, open up to it. All right, don't hold back, you know. Even if it's at a little distance and you feel like you can't afford it, go. Because I think you're going to have a good time and people are going to really, really be happy that you showed up. All right, Norma? That's what I got for you for a general reading. Marty Montoya, you have 2 Geminis. Which one will you end up with? Oh my God, 2 Geminis. That means 4. They're both gorgeous and serious about you. Oh my gosh, Marty. my goodness. Let's find out, Marty. All right, Gemini 1. What can you tell me about Gemini 1 to Marty's energy? How's that? We'll do that, all right, Marty? What can you tell me? All right. So I feel the first one could breadcrumb you, all right? But I think in the long run, the first one, you're not gonna, there's not enough passion there. There's not enough chemistry. So I just don't feel like in the end, number one will work out for you. Now, number two, I think intellectually, you know, could meet your match. I mean, between the two, I would take number two. All right, because number two comes out as being, you know, more exploratory, worldly. I mean, here we have this Ace of Swords. We do have the Victory Crown on the swords. I do feel as if they could really challenge you. The fact that the World card does come up, you know, maybe this is also, you know, I don't see this. This may not go very far either. But if you had to pick between one or the two, I would go with two. But I don't think neither one is going to be a long term for you in the end. All right, so enjoy the Geminis while you got them. Lorraine, what's going on with your son Jordan? All right. Well, check in with your son Jordan, and then I will call it a day and come back on another day. It's been really fun. Really appreciate you all. All right, let's see what's going on for Jordan. What can you tell me about Jordan? Where is Jordan these days? What is Jordan up to these days? What can you tell me about Jordan? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Jordan. All right. Work. Oh, he may have, you know, somebody may offer him some work. I don't think he feels like he can do it. But I think somebody, you know, definitely here's this Three of Pentacles, you know, so somebody, there's three people here. A lot of times it's collaborative energy, you know, but it comes up with the Five of Wands, you know, maybe he doesn't feel like he's up to other people, but I do feel as if, you know, there is a possibility of him trying to find some work. And, you know, I think if he speaks up, it'll be really, really good. All right, so listen. That's what I got on your son. The Devil coming in reverse. You know, I think the tide is changing for your son a little bit. But listen, everyone, have a really, really great weekend. I'll try to pop in here a little later in the week. And for sure, I'll be back probably Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, look for me usually around this time in the morning. And we'll just kind of take it from there. All right, be happy, be healthy, be kind. I'll see you all later. Bye now.